My Danish friends at Baum Guitars took their next step in their acoustic adventure with the Leaper Melody, which is their triple OOM-ish based guitar. Handmade in China, kind of like Eastman does, but in a different factory. They designed it in Denmark, and they also kind of like made the triple O model their own. It's got a bit of a different curve, so you know that's nice. It's not an exact copy of an OM. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. They make lovely stuff. This is still a prototype. It doesn't have the electronics yet, but you know, it sounds lovely. As for Mike's recording setup, an Aston, I think it's a Spirit. It's a Spirit, and a very cheap Chinese microphone from MXL, going into the universal audio interface, and then I'm using compression and a little bit of reverb, so it sounds better, and you don't hear how sloppy I play. Let's look at specs. So shape, it's officially called triple O's according to their website. You know, just a little bit different, which makes it unique. I have their Leaper Stage acoustic guitar. I've played that on stage as well on a tour last year, which I love.
What's love got to do? Got to do with it. Pull me aside when a heart can't be broken. What's love got to do with it?
Mahogany back and sides, which is important. It sounds different than rosewood. Spruced up, maple bridge plate on the inside, and an ebony bridge. This looks like it's still rosewood, but I could be mistaken. And the pins are also made of wood with beautiful inlays. A tortoise rosette, rosewood fretboard, lovely inlays, and the ugly Baum headstock. Still, they call it a teardrop. I call it a nutsack. You know, I love the guys at Baum, but this is just still very ugly to me. Bindings here, no bindings on the neck, and a very lovely neck shape. The neck is finished matte, which improves playability, of course, so it doesn't get sticky when you're sweaty. And it's finished in polyurethane, but very thin, so it doesn't affect the tone too much. You know, you don't need super expensive lacquer, poisonous, toxic lacquer to have it sound good. Yeah, some finger picking, because triple O's are made for finger picking. Sounds fucking depressing. It has that punch. I love that. Let's see what the scale length is. 24.9, so it has punch. So yeah, the final production model is gonna get a Fishman piezo. I'm not a big fan of piezos, but you know, it works. Especially when you mix it with like a mic like this. It sounds fantastic because it gives you that trebly punchy stuff. Yeah, other than that, they made a really, really fantastic sounding guitar. I think at a great price for a handmade guitar. Something comparable would be like Eastman. It's hit and miss with Eastman, I think. So far the Baums I've tried are really consistent. Maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. But they always seem to deliver. Let's end this video very depressed. Ratings! Build quality first. I've had this guitar for a few weeks now. I've played it a lot. I can't find anything wrong with it. Aside from the ugly headstock, but that's not build quality. 9 out of 10. Innovation. Well, how far can you innovate with an acoustic guitar? It's been around for ages. Well, not a century and a half maybe. In this current form at least. I love, however, that they've changed the triple O body shape a little bit. The bracing is adjusted to Morten Baum's fantastic ear. I don't know his ear, but you know, he knows what good stuff sounds like. So they've innovated a little bit, but still it's an acoustic guitar. 7 out of 10. Looks, it's a fantastic looking guitar. This one is the burgundy red. And it's a lot more lively in person, as you can see, than it looks like on the website. There is a black version as well, and there is a burst version as well. It looks spectacular, and it would have gotten a very high score if it wasn't for this fucking ugly headstock. It looks like balls. So, 6 out of 10. Usually I rate ease of use here, but it's gonna be playability now. It plays like a dream. And it sounds lovely, but that's gonna be with the sound bit. But it just plays very well. But we're gonna do an ease of use thing as well. Also, regarding that headstock, if you're changing your strings and you're using a string winder, the string winder is hitting the nutsack here, which is super annoying. So, you know, Baum, please change this headstock, whatever. But it plays like a dream and I love it. 7 out of 10. It sounds absolutely beautiful. This is a new guitar still, so it needs to be broken in. Played for a few years and it's gonna be super mellow and beautiful and even more like harmonics and stuff. Yeah, it's very, very, very good sounding. 10 out of 10. Pricing, it's affordable for what you're getting, but it's not affordable, you know what I mean? You're getting a hard case when you buy this guitar. There are electronics included, which also costs a fair amount of money, and it's handmade. You know, so it's basically a steal, I think. Especially for the fantastic sound you're getting. And it's a unique looking guitar. There aren't many guitars that have a fairly unique body shape. A somewhat tweaked triple O body shape. But you know, with that lovely pickguard and just beautiful details. So yeah, they put a lot of time and effort in this, and given that I think you're getting an amazing deal, I would say 9 out of 10. Brings the total to an 8.1 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.